There we go.
Is that better?
Yeah, a little bit. It sounds like it might be peaking a bit if you can turn it down.
How's that?
That's sounds good.
All right, sounds great. Well, awesome. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to do this interview.
No problems, mate. Thank you for taking the time to interview us.
Oh, absolutely. It was great to be able to catch up on the last LP a couple years back, and now being able to talk about an EP that I really feel needs to be heard right now in 2021, because we just need a reason to be happy right now with so much going on in the world right now. And it's so great to be able to see that you guys have created an EP like Happy Heroes coming out next week through Napalm Records.
Cool, yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. Some happiness is sorely needed these days.
Oh, absolutely. Is that the reason why you went about making this EP in the first place?
No, actually, the whole concept for the EP came about half a year, maybe even a year before. But the thing is, like, we've been basically since the last time we did some cover songs, we've been talking on and off about doing some cover songs again. And then we had this the Happy Heroes track, the original track on the EP. We kind of we had lying around because it didn't fit with any of the previous album concepts, and it didn't quite fit with the new one either. But we really liked the song, so we wanted to release it somehow. So yeah, that's kind of how we ended up with the three cover songs and the one original tune. But yeah, and then the happiness theme sort of came about when we I, on the one hand, wanted to cover "Don't Worry, Be Happy," and our drummer slash bouzouki player slash composer, Mr. Trollmannen, wanted to do a cover of the song "Happy" by Pharrell Williams, and yeah, so we kind of just ran with the happiness thing.
Oh, and it's so great to see that too. I mean, it's like three very different pop songs that you go about with it and completely make it your own. I mean, that's what I love when you guys do covers. I mean, of course, well known for your cover of Toxic by Britney Spears, you know, bringing so many people into the band, and now being able to see that with a newer song like Happy with Pharrell Williams, you know, going backwards in time with Aqua and Bobby McFerrin too. I mean, it's great to be able to see like all the different decades that are getting represented, along with making the songs your own.
Well, I guess it boils down to the fact that we're all of us in the band are music fans first and foremost. Like, all of us are, constantly listening to new music all across all genres, and I've been doing a lot of diving into ethnic music over the last years, and we consume a whole bunch of music, so it kind of just the fact that we've represented several or three different decades didn't actually occur to me until you told me just now.
No, it's amazing how that can work out too. You know, it's just like you're just thinking of songs that fit together with the theme that's going on, you know, just like a very happy, very positive songs that are coming together like that. And when you do kind of dissect it like that, I mean, you can see like how different songs are arranged, the different instrumentation that's going on into it, the songwriting. I mean, there's so much that goes into it with different decades and different songwriters, and it all comes out sounding like Trollfest, like all the songs were meant to be together as well too. And you know, that shows some fine musicianship from all of you when you can make those songs fit together along with Happy Heroes.
Well, thank you very, very much. I don't know. I can only refer to the magic that the seven of us managed to create together. Taking credit for that. And yeah, it's I don't know. I think maybe if you if you have a strong musical personality, I think it's actually I think it's people tend to idolize how strong musical uniqueness or like their own voice and everything. But I think from time to time there's also, it's true the other way as well, as in I don't think we could have played these songs in any other way. Like I don't think we could have done them like the originals were done. I don't think we would be able to pull that off in a cool way. I don't know. Does any of that make any sense, or am I just messing around here?
No, I completely understand that, and it's so true when you think about that too. I mean, the musical chemistry that's going on, and you want it to be a fair representation of what the band is while being able to explore different music, and it all comes together like that. It's so great. I mean, when people get to sit down and actually check out the full EP next week, again through Napalm Records, I think they're really going to experience that. I mean, being able to hear a full-on Trollfest song with Happy Heroes, and then being able to hear like 3 different sides like that. I mean, I never thought that Don't Worry, Be Happy could be so brutal with the blasts and the screams and the saxophone that's going on there. And you guys found a way to make me like the song even more than I originally did.
Oh, cool. Well, again, thank you very much. It was basically after we decided to do the covers, and I decided that I wanted to do Don't Worry, Be Happy. Basically with the blast beats and everything, that's how how I heard it. Sort of from the original track, or I don't know. If I was Bobby McFerrin, that's how I would have done that song.
Oh, yeah, that is just so cool. And, again, it makes me think, it's just like, obviously there's the original interpretation, and now being able to hear the Trollfest interpretation, it shows that a good song is a good song no matter how it's played. I mean, it could be completely through
Absolutely.
the body instruments or through the representation of Trollfest.
Yeah. No, I wholeheartedly agree with that. If you have a good song, the only thing that can ruin a good song is a very, very shitty performer.
Oh, it's so very true.
And even then, people will recognize that it's the performer and not the song. But I guess that kind of goes the other way as well, as in, like, if you have an insanely talented performer performing a shitty song, the song won't be quite as shitty.
It's true. And being on both sides of that equation too, with being in original bands and in cover bands, when I get the chance to be able to play drums, I experience both of those on regular occasions. So, just like being able to take those songs and, whether people in the crowd just recognize the guitar riff or they recognize the chorus. I mean, people can be ill prepared, but as long as they understand the song, they're still going to have a good time in that live setting.
Oh,
still there?
Hello. I'm still here, or are you still there?
I'm still here.
Yeah, okay. You just it might be the coverage where I live is really shitty, so it might be dropping out from time to time because of that.
Okay. But just getting back to what I was saying, like on the one side of the equation where it's like you might have a bad version of a song that's done in a cover band version or someone going up to an open mic, but as long as they recognize something like a guitar riff or a chorus, I think they're still going to be able to enjoy the song. And, I think alcohol has a lot to do with that too, but just being able to have a good time with that. But, it also, you mentioned too, where, it's just like you can have amazing musician being able to play a song that's just like bland and boring and no one wants to hear. So, it's just like being able to find that fine balance is a hard thing, but once you do, and you're able to have those hooks and melodies, whether you're doing covers or originals, I mean, it's a great feeling.
Absolutely. And it's also, I think it's, I think all original musicians can benefit from doing covers from time to time. Just because when you sit down and you arrange a cover, you get to know the song on a much deeper level than just listening to it for enjoyment, and that in turn also gives you some insight into how other composers compose. So at least for me, it's been beneficial in the sense of picking up small melodic tricks or cool little arrangement techniques that can enhance your creative ideas. And yeah, I think it's a good thing to do that. It's good for your own musical development, so to speak.
Oh, for sure. I mean, when you do study other people's music like that, I mean, whether you're doing it note for note or you're creating your own interpretation of it, I mean, you're able to explore how different people are able to create different ideas for songs. And I think that's just so beneficial when you are a songwriter yourself or you are a performer, and whether you're doing covers or originals, I mean, you're able to have that appreciation. And going back to what you were just talking about a little bit ago, like over the last year, the fact that you've been enjoying more ethnic music. I mean, I think that's so important to be able to go and discover as much new music as you can, or at least new to you music, where you can see where all these different people come from around the world, their interpretations of what they want to be able to come with musically, and how can it affect you, whether you're just enjoying the music or you want to be able to replicate that and use it in your own music.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been actually I've been saying it from time to time, but I actually is a friend of mine who plays guitar in a band called She Said Destroy, who put it very, very nicely, I think, and he basically said, if you want to make fantastic trash metal and you only listen to Master of Puppets because that's the best trash metal album in your opinion, you're never going to be able to make anything better than a second-rate version of Master of Puppets. Whereas if you take a deep dive into Indonesian regional folk music, and then you go back and try to make a trash album, chances are it might not be the best trash metal album ever, but at least it's going to be something slightly new rather than another copy of Master of Puppets.
Oh, it's so very true. And there are so many bands that do focus on that too, where they do just want to be the next Metallica and write their own version of Master of Puppets, but Master of Puppets is already out there, so, it's just like there's always going to be that way. But when you're able to discover music like that too, I mean, when you're able to, like you said, over the last year, being able to check out more ethnic music. I mean, obviously it's been shown in music already when it comes to the heavier side, whether it's like Subterranean Masquerade or Orphan Land or Mirath. But, the fact that you're able to at least get that appreciation for what's going on there, being able to see how they use the different scales compared to what others do, especially with the vocal scales and how they go about that. I mean, that's such an original display that they got. So, I mean, there's so much that you can benefit from that and incorporate in your music.
Absolutely. There's so much crazy shit out there. I mean, and also, if I don't particularly like playing that game, but a lot of people do. So, you pick up a thing or two. But, if it weren't for the influence of polyrhythms from African folk music, you wouldn't have prog metal. If it weren't for the odd time signatures of India, you wouldn't have prog metal again. But all sorts of music can easily be traced back to one or two the ethnical origins, I think. And it's also sort of like for us, especially, you know, the Eastern European Balkan music has been a major influence, actually since day one. But we didn't. We started to get in on it on the second album, and then on the third album, I think we sort of found our true Norwegian Balkan metal. But you know, as you were saying, that we couldn't make that music without the Eastern European scales. Not to mention their way of perceiving odd time signatures and making that swing. That's all stuff that we've basically stolen from Eastern European folk music. I mean, there's a lot of debt owed from the folk metal scene to the different folk musics, different types of folk music around the world.
Oh, absolutely. And it's such a great array, whether you're able to appreciate what the folk music that comes from your homeland, or you're able to go across oceans to be able to see it, or across the continents. You know, it's just like there's so much good music that comes from every region of the world. And there's so many people, especially here in North America, who thinks everything is just 4/4 or occasionally 6/8 when it comes to a ballad. But when you go across the world and you're able to discover those polyrhythms, when you're able to discover those odd time signatures, and discover that not everything just has to be a dance beat the entire time, but it can be all these different interpretations of one's thoughts that's going on, that's what helps with that creativity. And even if you don't implicate those polyrhythms and odd time signatures, like, you can still kind of get that feel for it and keep it in 4/4 if you wanted to go that route, if you wanted to.
Yeah, absolutely. The sky is the limit, so to speak.
Oh.
But I mean, I don't know if it came across that way, but just to clarify, I have no problem whatsoever with anyone borrowing ideas from different kinds of musical styles. I think that's a good thing. I mean, that's how we evolve, you know. We share the good ideas and we bury the shitty ideas.
Yeah, and you know, I think that works with so many concepts around the world. I mean, it can work in music, and it can work in so many other things around the world. Like a shared idea can be used across the world, and it can benefit the whole world when it comes to that. And you know, when it comes to art, like music, you know, it's just like, you hear a different kind of vocal scale that you hear in the Eastern Asian areas, and you're able to hear that for the first time and get that inspiration.
Throat singing is just fucking. The Mongolian throat singing is off the charts awesome.
Yeah, and it's absolutely amazing to hear that. I mean, especially for the first time, when you never even thought that anyone could do something like that. And when you actually experience it for the first time and realize how much musicality is going on behind it, I mean, it's hard not to be inspired. As I can imagine as a vocalist as well, too, like being able to inspire yourself to at least continue on trying to progress yourself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. It's so much crazy stuff out there, and so many awesome techniques being developed. It can be a little bit overwhelming at times, but I think again, you know, the main motivation to do anything really should be to enjoy yourself, and with that in mind, it's awe-inspiring and fantastic to see all the different kinds of talent and all the different kinds of art that floats around out there.
Oh, for sure. And when you can find that right balance of making the music that you want to make, or interpreting the music that you want to be able to interpret it in a vision that you can enjoy, and then also be able to build a fan base off of that, where it's more than just the band appreciating it, but there's people all around the world that can appreciate it. Being able to have the best of both worlds like that is just got to be one of the greatest feelings.
Dude, it's fantastic. I smile all the time because of it. Not all the time, but a lot of the time.
Oh, it's such a great reason to be able to smile, too, and every time I've ever been able to see you guys, it always puts a smile on my face, whether you guys are coming out as bees, or you're coming out as doctors, or whatever the case is. Like, every time that you come over here to North America, I can't wait to see what you guys are going to be presenting on stage, because you guys put on not just a great musical show, but you put on such a great visual show as well.
Well, thank you very much, man. But yeah, as you just said, it's a very direct result of the situation we're in. As you said, you know, we're making music that we love ourselves. We love to play it. We'd probably be playing it in a rehearsal space, regardless of the outside world. I mean, if we still didn't have a record deal or anything like that, chances are we would still meet up every now and again just to jam and hang out and try out some of our songs that we've made. I mean, just the fact of having a band that makes music you like is a good feeling, and then to have that stuff recognized is fantastic. And then to actually get to travel around and present it to people and see people react to it in real time, and, you know, yeah, talk to people all around the world, party and have fun and all of that. It's it's beyond words.
Oh.
It's just the best feeling.
Oh, yes, and yeah, I mean, when you can have that musical chemistry with a group of musicians, being able to do all of that, I mean, being able to create music, interpret music, go around the world and see fans that love your music, whether they're checking you out for the first time or they're longtime fans of the band, and just being able to have those experiences. And I know I can speak from the fan perspective that I'm just so happier that I live in a world where Trollfest exists and you're continuing on strong. And, you know, in 2021, despite it being 2020 being such a terrible year when it comes to so many things, that you were able to take something like that and make it so positive and have it turn out in an EP like this where you can just smile from start to finish, because that's exactly what the music makes you want to do, and just you know, just like laugh at how great the music comes off and how positive it comes off in that Trollfest style. And I'm so thankful for that, because we need those reminders of that positivity and happiness in a world in the dark times that we're living in right now. And the fact that you can bring that is such a great thing that I'm so very appreciative of you being able to do.
Dude, we're honored to be able to, or to be in a position where we can bring it out to the people. And yeah, as you said, last year was a bit of a shit show. I think in those times, joy and laughter are all the more valuable.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, when there is so much darkness out there, I mean, if you can find something to be able to appreciate, then it can make those dark experiences so much better. And I think that's really going to happen for a lot of people like myself when they finally are able to check out this EP coming out next week through Napalm Records in Happy Heroes. From start to finish, just a great, fun release that was just so needed here in 2021. And I thank you guys so very much for being able to make this release and making the best of a bad situation with 2020. And I thank you very much for taking the time to be able to talk to me again, being able to catch up and see where Trollfest is at right now in 2021.
Yeah, no worries, man. It's been an absolute pleasure. And we're really excited about releasing the EP as well on Friday. We have a third video coming out to along with the EP launch. And I think, I don't think, I know we're also doing like an online Q&A session on Friday evening Central European time.
Oh, that is fantastic. And I'm glad to see that you guys are doing that too. I mean, being able to really present the album the best that you can. Obviously, with touring not being a thing right now, I mean, the fact that you can still interact with the fans like that online and have them having that feedback of what they think of the EP, having that Q&A. I'm glad to see that you guys are doing that.
Yeah, man. No, it came about. We did like just a test drive. Tried to do a little bit of streaming on a rehearsal a couple of weeks back, and yeah, it turned out quite okay. So we figured, fucking hell, let's inflate the whole thing and try to do it bigger and more properly. So yeah, we're gonna get some beers and sit down for a party on Friday, and hope that the digital world joins us.
Oh, perfect. Great last words here for this interview. And again, thank you very much for taking the time to do this and being able to help promote Happy Heroes coming out next Friday through Napalm Records. And anyone listening to this, be sure to be able to go and check out the Q&A that's also happening this coming Friday, when you're able to sit with the guys, hopefully have some refreshments yourself, and just being able to have a great time celebrating some great music.
Yeah. We'll be answering questions and all kinds of stuff. So, and yeah, also, thank you so much for interviewing us and helping us promote the new EP and all of that stuff. It's very much appreciated.